Hey, y'all, Patrick with Vetted here. Got a special subject we're going to discuss. I got a few clips we're going to look at. Basically, if you haven't heard by now, let me tell you, David Grush called out Neil deGrasse Tyson for a debate in his latest interview, and Neil deGrasse Tyson has responded. So let's take a look at the clip that sort of started it all, and then we'll go from there because I have more thoughts. And another clip that maybe is the reason why David Grush, challenged him to a debate. I think this may be the clip that got him. So we'll look at that clip too. So without further ado, let's look at this clip right here, and let's go.
Indicator? Well, I think you should probably retire.
Here we go.
I don't like throwing shade, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's made up his mind. I've read his tweets, and I'm like, dude, you have a PhD in physics? Where's your curiosity? I can't even believe.
Yeah,
You're
same.
the big scientific communicator? Well, I think you should probably retire.
It's just smug.
It's just ridiculous.
It's smug, and it's I know everything, and it's I went to this elite university, so I have the credentials to like tell you what you should think, instead of exploring these kind of really exciting open-ended questions.
Should we count how many times he said that the universe was 13.8 billion years old and just be like, you were wrong every single time?
Credentialism,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I have credentials too, and I'm happy to go toe-to-toe with you.
Yeah.
If he wants to debate me, I'd be fun.
Let's do it.
Gary Nolan and I will debate Tyson. Who's that other, Brian Cox? Bring it. Bring it. I don't like throwing shade, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? He's made up his mind. I've read his tweets.
So, one, I don't know why they call out Brian Cox. I don't know what he's done. We talked about that yesterday on the podcast. By the way, go check out the podcast we dropped yesterday with Sebastian and Amy, the whole crew together. We discussed that. We discussed this a little bit too, but this is going to be further in depth. So anyway, there's the clip unedited, calling out Neil deGrasse Tyson and Brian Cox, and so. What do you think of that, first of all? Tell me down in the comments. You think that's worthy? Now, he says, I've read his tweets. Sure, everyone's seen the tweets. But, in my opinion, we're going to take a look at his response to David Grush here in just a second. But first, I'm going to show you a clip, excuse me, from The Theories of Everything with Kurt Jamungal. I'm not sure how to say that. I hope I'm saying that right. I love this podcast. I watch all the time. They just call him Kurt. So, Toe or Theories of Everything. And I found this clip from a couple months ago, and I think this may be also a reason, not just these tweets. So, let's take a look at this clip, and let me know what you think.
What's your opinion on the recent UFO whistleblower, David Grush? I'm sure you've heard some whispers, or maybe you've watched it yourself.
Yeah, I'm not interested in testimonies. I mean, testimonies are the lowest form of evidence in science. I don't care what you said you saw. I mean, I care, but I'm not going to base an entire understanding of the universe based on what comes out of your mouth. And I don't care who you are, or what your rank is. It doesn't matter. Are you human? That's all I care about. You're human. I need something better than that.
Real quick. What about like Galileo, Copernicus, right? Looking through a telescope and then saying what they saw. Observation, testimony. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
Like, bring an alien into the open square. How about that? We have 6 billion smartphones in the world. Give me some video of people getting abducted onto a flying saucer. That would go viral overnight. Cat videos go viral. That'll go viral.
Let's be real. Most people would never believe it, right? Just look at these aliens that were live streaming the Mexican Congress. There's just a sliver of a chance that these could be something. But granted, it's probably a hoax, right? But what was everyone's first response when that's wheeled out? Ha, 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 ha. So honestly, if I'm being honest, I think if a UFO abduction video came out, it was real or whatever, nobody would believe it. Nobody would buy it. It's just how we're wired, I guess.
All right. I'm thinking if we're being invaded by aliens, we would not need congressional hearings to establish that fact. Really? The aliens are coming and they're only going to restricted military airspace? Really? That how that's working? We have 1 million people airborne at any given moment with a window looking out into Earth's atmosphere. Have you ever seen the crisscrossing of our commercial air flights in the world in a 24-hour period? It seems to me if aliens are coming, we could crowdsource that. Oh, yeah. So I don't.
And according to the NASA UAP report, that's what we're doing, right? That's what they're looking to do, to bring in citizen observers or whatever they're calling it. So there you go, Neil.
I can't be impressed by testimonies at all. They can be intriguing. They could be reason to investigate further.
Exactly.
Okay? Fine.
Exactly. Yes.
There's something we don't understand. They're lights.
You're for investigating further.
There's a percent of a budget that I would say put this tiny amount in this subject, which might pay off great returns afterwards. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have a problem when if the Pentagon has a budget to study a phenomenon it doesn't understand. I mean, they're tasked with protecting us. There's something in the sky they don't understand. I'd hope they figure it out. But the Pentagon doesn't have as full photographic access to the world as the 8 billion residents do and the 6 billion smartphones. So, and by the way, little facts, like in the 1960s and 70s, abduction stories were common. Oh, the aliens brought me on and they poked my gonads and things. Now that we all have smartphones, those stories have gone away because you could.
That's not true. There are tons of abduction stories all the time. So that's not true. Why would he say that? Has he done research and work and laid them all out of every year and blah, 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 and seen that it's gone down? I mean, where is that evidence? Where are those graphs? Or is he just going off what he used to see in the news and now he doesn't, so he just assumes, right? Nothing against Neil deGrasse Tyson. I know people have a lot of, hate for him and all that. I remain neutral. I still like him. I still think, he does a good job of bringing science to the masses, although I do feel he's a little closed off to this. But that doesn't mean throw away the whole person. I'm not like that, okay? I'm not like that with people. We shouldn't be so quick to dismiss people. We should bring everybody in because Neil deGrasse Tyson, if he were to get on board with this, would be a great, person to have out there pushing for more research and investigation. And he, so I think the key is to convince him to get on board, not to shun him away. So I'm curious what y'all think about debating. And that sort of thing. But anyway, let's watch the rest of this and get to his response to David Grush, which is interesting.
It. All right. You could live stream it as the alien walked towards you or as they gathered. All right. But that we don't see any such footage of that.
You know how it's not that quick to get a live stream going, Neil. Okay. If you see this UFO, your phone isn't, and then fill out all this stuff to get a live stream going. He's also not thinking this through himself. Let's be real. I get his point about we have all these phones and all these things and we should have captured more. And there are tons of videos now from cell phones and stuff. And then people just don't believe them. So we kind of can have it both ways.
Not relying on your eye-brain memory, sensory interaction with the world. And as I said earlier, we didn't begin to truly understand this world until we could bring methods and tools and tactics and especially instruments of measurement.
Okay, so that's basically the clip. All right, so here we have the clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson responding to David Grush. He went on a show called Breaking Points with Sagar and Jetty and Crystal Ball. They mainly do political, that's what they do, political stuff, political commentary. And but Sagar over here, the gentleman, he is super into the UFO subject, so he talks about it a lot on the show. And just as a side note, on my other podcast, Lone Star Plate, I interviewed Sauger during the 2020 election. He came on the show and gave his political opinion on everything and who was going to win, all this stuff. And cool interview. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can watch it. Again, it's from a few years ago, before I got into the UFO subject. So again, that's on my main podcast. And yeah, he's a great guy. He's if you don't know who Sauger is, learn who he is, because he really pushes for the UFO subject on his show, right? So he'll make time in this political show to bring up UFOs in a serious way and discuss it. And I think that's cool. We need more people like him, more allies like him. So if you don't know who he is, start following him. But they did get him on, and they did ask him about this question, which I was hoping they would do. And, of course, Sauger did. And let's see his response. So, again, this is David Grush calling out Neil deGrasse Tyson for a debate. And let's see his response.
Now you've really set people off on that one. But I wanted to ask if you had any reaction to the UFO whistleblower. He actually came out just a couple of days ago, and he said, you have a PhD in physics. Where is your curiosity? I have credentials. I would be happy to go toe-to-toe with you. If he wants to debate me, I would be fine with that. So first, just any reaction, or if you have any interest in debating the UFO whistleblower.
We'd be happy.
Just from Neil deGrasse Tyson's reaction, I can tell he's already heard about this.
Which we would host, of course.
And he's saying we'll host. They're saying they'll host. Now, granted, if you look in the tweet up here from Jesse Michaels, full unedited clip of David Grush challenging Neil Tyson to a debate. Notable radio silence on the other side. Not anymore. Come on, Neil, retweet if you want this to happen. I'll pay $50K to charity of Neil's choice if it happens on my show. So, nothing against Crystal and Sauger. Again, love them, love their show. But unless they can also provide that $50K for charity, it would be much better if they went on Jesse Michaels' show, right? Because we could do good. I mean, just to have a conversation. If anything, to me, Neil should take it just for that reason. That's my opinion. Anyway, all right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So I don't. You've never seen me in a debate on anything. Debating is not the path to objective truth. The path to objective truth is data. All right. So when two scientists get into a quote debate, there's an implicit contract between the two. Either I'm right and you're wrong, either you're right and I'm wrong, or we're both wrong. Mm-hmm. In a rare case, we can both be right, but it's very rare, and it's another, we can be blind and touching an elephant. And elephants are these hard, ivory things. And you say, no, elephants are these stringy things, and you're touching the tail on. We're both right, all right? Because we're talking about the same object. But in most cases, that's not the case. All right. So what happens when the two scientists, they'll have the conversation, and at some point they'll say, okay, we can't agree. We need more data to resolve this. Now let's go have a beer. Mm-hmm. So it makes no point to debate someone who's talking about classified information that nobody else can see. So what needs to happen is it needs to release the information.
Yes.
We did that in the Apollo era. We got moon rocks, brought it back, shared the rocks with the world, so everybody can investigate it and evaluate it. So if you have a result, the way science arrives at objective truth is not by debate, which politicians like doing. And by the way, I've never seen a debate ever where one person says, you convinced me, I agree, let's go. That has never happened.
Happens
ever
on this show sometimes.
Yeah,
happens sometimes here.
We try to do a little bit of that here.
So my quick point is that all he has to do is release it for independent analysis. And in science, an objective truth is established by multiple verifications of a claim. And eyewitness testimony, sworn testimony, is irrelevant to science. Mm-hmm. We don't care what you saw or what you say you saw. We care a little bit. We'll make a note of it. But in the end, if I want to to declare that what you said you saw, what you did see, is objectively true, other people have to verify it.
Yes.
And bring it forward. And the aliens in Mexico, where they rolled them out, great. That's a start. I love it. Okay, you saw the pictures. I love it. Okay,
Yes.
so now to verify whether this is true or a hoax, allow others to study your 3-foot-tall alien bodies.
Yeah,
Okay?
that look exactly like ET.
Multiple labs,
Right. Yeah.
especially skeptical labs, study it and find out, hey, there's something here. Bada bing. We got 2 aliens that were hanging out 2,000 years ago. By the way, your nose is just an empty cavity into your skull. And so old mummies and things don't have noses. These aliens were bones the whole rest of the body, but they had a nose.
Curious.
There's nothing to what? How do you keep a nose? Oh, but it's an alien, so maybe there's a bone in its nose.
Yeah,
But
maybe
it's
they got a
hip
different thing
bones,
going on.
All right.
hips, ribs, a femur, skull. So anyhow, fingers. Okay, I have 3 fingers. Therefore, is alien. Okay, so
Right.
I'm looking for. I love it. Now release it to the world.
Yes,
I
agreed.
agree. So let's let that heed to Congress. So
Yes.
Congress should release that information. Okay.
All right, at the very end, he says something too. So let me see if I can get it here.
Name check me in the press, polite.
There we go.
Down in the description, encourage everybody to go and buy it.
And I just want to conclude here by saying our UFO guy,
Yes.
who's got
David
I'm
Grush. He's
flattered
talking about
and
David
honored
Grush.
that he would call name check me in the press, politely name check me. And I just want to say it's not to debate. You just bring it out.
Bring it out. Okay. Well, it's not just him. It's Congress too, though. To be fair,
It's what you say?
it's not just him. It's he wants to put the information out. It's Congress who has had some issues there, as well as the intelligence community.
Yeah,
but
so
I
they
agree
gotta
with you.
resolve
It should
that.
come out.
Let
Yeah.
them figure it out, and
Okay.
then call me.
Okay. All right.
I'll
All right.
bring it
Did
to
you
my
hear that,
lab,
David
all right?
Grush? Yeah.
No. What it is that the aliens come. It's like they say, "Take me to your leader."
Uh-huh.
I'm not bringing it to the president. No.
Okay.
I don't care who the president is. It's going to NASA. Okay.
All right.
It is.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm sure that'll
right.
go out. All right.
Thanks for your interest.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. So what do you think? That's Neil's response to David Grush. They should have brought up Jesse Michaels' tweet, thrown out the charity part. That's what I thought he was going to say. Sagar may not just have not seen that because he clearly watched, the Jesse Michaels interview. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, clearly Neil deGrasse Tyson has sent out several tweets and several this. And look, I've heard him say several times on other podcasts this about debating on Joe Rogan, even years ago. He just does not debate. He's always held that stance, so that's not something new. And yeah, I don't know. He does make some points about debating, right? If you ever watch debates, it really is just arguing. I used to watch Hitchens all the time. And Dawkins, they do these, religious debates. God, I was obsessed with them for a long time. In fact, I've had on Aaron Raw. He's a very famous atheist. He works with Matt Dillahunty here out of Texas. Had him on several times on my podcast on the Lone Star Plate. But yeah, I'm curious what, David Grush will say to this. Probably nothing. I don't think there'll be another response. It's not like David Grush is out tweeting, so unless he does some interview or something. But look, I'll keep you updated. If something changes, we'll let you know. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should there be a debate? Why is Brian Cox in there? And what do you think about Neil's response to David Grush? So honestly, it seemed very respectful to me. So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. We'll see you guys tomorrow on another video with Vetted. I'm Patrick. Bye.